Welcome back to some new PettyRevenge stories, where people share small victories over those who wronged them. I hope you had a great day. Thanks for all the likes and comments on the last video. And now let's start with the first story. It's called Church Revenge. A couple of years ago, I found myself in a tough spot. A job with housing fell through, leaving me stranded in a new town with no money and no place to stay. I managed to find a waitressing job and a nighttime cleaning gig, and I worked every hour I could. For 3 months I was exhausted, constantly hungry and living out of my car, until I found someone looking for a roommate. Things started to improve, and I even got a little cat to keep me company. The town was near a tourist area, which meant the diner where I worked stayed busy, especially with lost travelers. But Sundays were rough. Many locals came in, and most didn't tip, so I often went hungry on Sundays. One Sunday, a local family left what looked like a $100 tip. I was so relieved, until I flipped it over. It was fake, with a sermon printed on the back, and stamped with a local church name and address. I was disappointed, to say the least. That family became regulars, and over the next year they came in every week. I tried to gently tell the man how hurtful that fake tip had been, but he brushed it off, saying that riches and God were better. They never tipped at all. Then, one September, a hurricane hit, flooding the diner and forcing it to close. Without a job, I had time to explore other things, so I decided to check out that church from the fake tip. I went to their Sunday service with a $2 lottery ticket in hand. The pastor was there, and to my surprise, it turned out he was the man from the diner. The church had only about 30 people, and part of its roof was damaged from the storm. I recognized many of the people from the diner. They were kind and welcoming. During the offering, I dropped my $2 lottery ticket in the basket and joked with the pastor, saying, "Maybe God will make you lucky." The next week, I did the same thing. On the third week, I decided to have a little fun. I put in a fake lottery ticket my brother had given me years ago. I knew it was fake, but I thought it would be a light-hearted gesture. By the fourth week, I was preparing to leave town for a new job in another city. I went to church to say goodbye, and as I was leaving, the pastor pulled me aside. He told me that finding out the lottery ticket was fake had been really upsetting. For a moment, he thought they'd have enough money to fix the roof, and it hurt to realize it wasn't real. I listened and then calmly said, "Now you know how I felt when he gave me that fake $100 tip, when I was living in my car and hungry." I left that day with a sense of closure, smiling the entire drive north. It's one of the best decisions I've ever made. The next story is called Lean Back. I don't mind when people recline their seats on flights. I do it myself, but there's a time and a place for it. The issue on this particular flight happened during takeoff. The guy in front of me had his seat reclined before we even took off, which is against safety rules. The flight attendant came by and asked him to put his seat up, which she did, reluctantly, after she asked a couple of times and even helped him adjust it. But as soon as she walked away, he leaned his seat right back again. Honestly, that move really annoyed me. So for the entire 2.5-hour flight, I made sure he could feel my knees pressing into his seat. I shifted the pressure to different spots, and I know he noticed because he kept adjusting his position and even glanced back at me once. Did it hurt my knees? Yes, absolutely. Was it worth it? Definitely. The third story is called Music Revenge. For the second day in a row, the neighbors started loud construction early in the morning. But today was Saturday, so I was extra annoyed. I got up and told my husband to be patient with me. He looked a bit confused, but could tell I was about to handle the situation. I went to the bathroom closest to where all the sawing and hammering was happening. I put Baby Shark on a loop and taped my phone to the wall. The saw stopped almost immediately. We could hear them talking back and forth between rooms, but the hammering continued. By 8 AM though, everything went quiet. At 8:47 am, they knocked on the door to apologize for waking us up and wished us a good weekend. They didn't mention the music, but said they switched to pulling up carpet for the day, which, thankfully, is a much quieter task. I thanked them, wished them luck, and went back inside to stop the music. It's a small win, but I'll take it. The last story is called Landlord Revenge. I became a renter for the first time in my mid-30s, a bit later in life than most. Before that, I had been on the other side as a landlord and developer. I know that doesn't always win people over, but for context, I built everything I own, at first with my own hands. I started out doing painting, finishing carpentry, millwork, and cabinet making to make ends meet during university. By the time I graduated, I had saved enough to dive into my first project, a neglected warehouse that I converted into a fourplex. I lived there for a decade while growing into new development projects. Just before 2020, I sold that first property during a big market upswing. The buyer wanted me out to raise the rent, which made it my first eviction experience. To celebrate this new chapter, I decided to rent a condo downtown, a significant upgrade from my one-bedroom investment-focused space. After months of searching, I found a gem, a 2005-era condo with 207-degree views, floor-to-ceiling windows and open layouts. It had its quirks: outdated cherry wood flooring, honey-colored cabinets, and gloss black appliances. Still, I struck a deal with the landlord to handle maintenance myself, in exchange for a hands-off arrangement. Fast forward to 2020, when a unique opportunity arose. A carpenter I knew offered me a luxury kitchen setup, including high-end appliances and cabinets, at a fraction of retail costs. I pitched a full condo renovation to my landlord, who approved it with the condition that I'd return the unit to its original state when I moved out. Over 2 weeks, I installed a new kitchen and flooring, turning the condo into an upscale haven. For just under $12,000, it felt like I had a brand new space. Considering the market rent savings and my plans to stay long-term, it seemed like a good investment. But plans change. In 2023, the landlord's wife visited unexpectedly and was blown away by the upgrades. Shortly after, I received notice that the condo was being sold. The listing highlighted my renovations, boasting exquisitely upgraded with top-of-the-line finishes. The new owners intended to move in, forcing us to leave. True to my agreement, I restored the condo to its original condition, right down to the old cabinets, flooring, and even quirks like a faulty oven control board. While the process was time-consuming, it was satisfying to ensure the unit matched the move-in inspection video. The cherry on top: according to tenancy laws, if the new owners don't move in within 6 months of evicting us for personal use, they owe me a year's rent as compensation. For now, I've moved into another unit in the same building, with even nicer finishings and a keen eye on the market for future opportunities. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like, comment and subscribe. And if you have time, watch another one of my videos. Also, if you want to support me further, check out the channel membership or Patreon. And now, I hope you have a great day. See you soon. Bye bye.